Hey guys, so I almost missed the opportunity to record this, but we have the old Weiser, I believe this is called the Fashion Handleset, that uses a key to lock and unlock the thumb piece. And I started to take it off the door. A very common problem with these is it gets really hard to push the thumb thing down. So you can take it off the door and you can take a cleaner, hose it down. This is if you're DIY. Hose it on the inside and clean it off. And basically what's happening here is goo, for lack of better terminology. If you scrape some of the areas in here, you will see that it's basically just gooey, and that goo has solidified over the years. So the quickest, easiest way to take care of this problem, see, it builds up everywhere, even up here, the factory grease and then just grime and stuff over the years has caused it to become gooey. So preferably with a straw, which I don't have a straw. If you had a straw, you could stick it up into the inside here and hose it in, and also bend it and come down, because I'm going to take it apart and show you why. Now this is something that's best not done unless you're mechanically inclined, but I'm going to show you what the issue is. These little clips are sometimes hard to coerce off. It's alright, I gotta back up if it doesn't come off. Okay. Sometimes they come right off, sometimes they don't. When they don't, you have to assist. There we go. Sometimes it just doesn't want to bite. After that's off, we're going to take this off, and there's a plastic guide under there that went on the undersides of the springs, or the screw holes. There's your plastic guide. You don't want to lose it. You are going to want to inspect it to see if it's cracked. That one's not. This one was not that bad, honestly, but it is never going to get better unless you lubricate it. So again, unless you're a locksmith or mechanically inclined, this is best not done. Never try to take this mechanism apart. Sometimes there's a rectangular mechanism on some of them, and it had the screws that hold it on. It has 4 screws that hold it on, and then there's a weird screw here, and that screw holds this whole plate together. You don't want to mess with that screw. So, but on this one, and we can see it is gooed on. So I'm going to take that apart a little bit slower. That's how it was. There's your thumb thing. And frequently there will be cobwebs here. Dirt dauber nest, cobwebs. So you want to clean all that. Cylinder comes out. You don't have to unscrew anything. And if you unscrew these 2 screws, it just takes this off. There's really no point doing that. And also beware, the spring has to remain, and there is a little divot right here that needs to stay just like it was, with the little notch facing down. Don't disrupt the natural order of things. Alright, now that I have that off, I can check to make sure this is okay. And we see when you press the thumb thing, it lifts up, which lifts this, which allows it to turn. And then when you lock it, you turn it. Let's do it with this. When you lock it, it flips that part over. And she said she was experiencing some kind of trouble. Let's see what that trouble is. Got to make sure this is turned the right way. So lock, and it keeps it from raising. Unlock. If this is in the right position. There we go. Allows it to lift up, and when I'm lifting up, it's turning this. It is best to try to maintain the position that was there. So now that I got it off, I'm going to hose it down. Both sides, especially these little pivots right here. And I did this before I took it off, because you can always just try with it still on the door or still attached to the handle set. You don't necessarily have to take it off. However, I am just to show you the process. Got a little corrosion on hers. And you want to, when you have this off the door, get a good quality lubricant. I use LPS 1, and you want to, and I'm actually out of it right here, but hose it down. I mean, just give it a bath. You're not going to hurt it with too much lubricant. And that is it. After you make sure that everything freely moves there. Okay, now when you're putting it back together, hold on, I'm going to go hose it down with lube while I got it off. Okay. At this moment I'm using Ultra Lube. No preference, I'm simply trying this product. It's a very interesting lubricant. Seems to be pretty good, especially for mechanical parts like this. As you can see, I'm being generous with it and going to coat the middle. Wear gloves if you have issues with chemicals, by the way. However, this is perfectly safe and environmentally friendly, which is why I'm trying it out. You can see a lot of it starting to liquefy here. Doesn't have to be perfectly clean. And I'm actually going to go ahead and hit the back of the cylinder. Yep, and then the cylinder itself. Make sure that is not seized up, especially if you do not lose. Okay, so when you put this back in, this will turn. It only turns like a quarter turn, if that. So when you want to put it back together, you want it to be flat, four-sided, top, bottom, side, side. Don't want it angled. If you turn it to the right, which is which way you turn the key to the right, it is at an angled state compared to this 12 o'clock plane. So you want it turned back to the left with it four-sided straight. Put your spring on. Again, we needed to make sure that this was in the correct position. So I'm going to turn it over. I'm going to lift up. I'm going to lock it. try it. I'm going to move this back. While holding on to this. Okay, it's not turning back, so that means that's in the wrong position. And lift. So this is the right position. You may have to try it a few times. Make sure the spring's over the cap and run the bar through, and then you're going to want that to engage with that hole. So I kind of lift up on this and carefully maneuver it down. Don't try to force anything. Make sure your thumb thing is working right. We're not fully down yet. Okay, there it goes. Alright. Oh, okay, that just snapped into the hole. So now it's in the hole, it's lifting the spring. And put your screws back on. Hand tight only. Sorry, it's a little chilly out here and I'm a little underdressed. Once I got the screws tight, I'm going to hold this and turn it. Slip this over, making sure the lip goes down because the lip goes over that hole. Right there. Hey, how are you? And lubricate your spring cage. This is very important. Get all that dirt out of there. Oh. Alright, it goes upside down. Like that. Okay. Now, putting this spring back over is going to be the issue. Actually, before I do that, or retainer clip, I'm going to check this. Now that I got this spring cage over it, I'm going to check it. And if I had the key to lock and unlock it, I would. Hold on. Okay, take your key, lock and unlock it. So that's locked. Turn your key the other way and it's unlocked. Other way, lock. That way, unlock. Now, putting the clip back on. This is going to be the stumbling block for anybody who is doing this that may not have this tool. I just bent this clip back into shape before putting it back on. Very important to bend this back circular, and I do that by squeezing it this way. You can see that just bent it back and squeezing it that way, and what that did is it formed it back into a circle. Now of course it's going to stretch when you put it back over, but you just have to be a little careful doing that. And if you see there is a notch right there that this is going to go in. Get it down and push it the rest of the way. So this will be the probably hardest part out of all this if you don't have a pair of retaining ring pliers to remove this clip. But you can use, sorry about that, I'm trying to keep my hand out of the way there. There we go, just snapped into place. And snapped into place. So it snapped into that cutout in this right here. So you can take two extremely fine tipped screwdrivers and simply get up under it to pop it off and pull it up the rest of the way. Now I'm not going to get into that because it's not a great idea to do, but it is an idea. So there we go. That is repairing a Weiser fashion thumb thing. Works much better and still has plenty of life left in it, as long as nothing in here is broken, which it very rarely breaks. It's usually just gummed up. Alright, thanks for watching, guys. Y'all have a good one.